Okay, good evening, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you in the chat. It's going to be a very, very short stream tonight, probably only going to be on for about an hour. Just going to work off some of the Thanksgiving dinner that I ate. We'll try to walk maybe 3 to 4 miles. We'll check out the Hudson Yards, then we will walk up to Radio City Music Hall, Rockefeller Center, and then end, hopefully all the way uptown, probably around 72nd Street, Central Park West at the Dakota, because we haven't been up there in a long, long time. Not too many topics for tonight. Obviously, stock market closed, bond market closed, but tomorrow the markets reopen. However, it will be a short day of trading as the stock market will close at 1 o'clock. Bond market will close at 2 p.m. Futures are green across the board. I think you could say they're probably flat to green. We're going to be talking about a few things, but I think tonight we're just going to sort of sit back, relax, enjoy Thanksgiving as we walk through the city. And before we start, once again, I want to wish all of you a very, very happy Thanksgiving and extend my gratitude and thanks for all of the viewers who tune in almost every night here to Walk Some Wall Street, and hopefully you guys have found some value in this content. So thank you for that. Without further ado, let me close the laptop. I'll say hello to everybody in the chat and we'll head downstairs. Hopefully it's not going to be too cold tonight. I don't think it will be. Once again, we are here at the WeWork. Let me get downstairs and I'll say hello to everybody. Hope you're having a good holiday with your family, friends. Let's see who we have in the chat. I see Sally is here. Delia Kelly, welcome. Chris Beeman from Arizona. What's up, Chris? Hopefully you're having a good Thanksgiving. Let's see who else. We see Jonathan Richards. What's up, Jonathan? Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving tonight. I see Gustavo. Welcome. Says hello from Argentina. Good to see you, Gustavo. All right, we are now All right, here we are, team. We are here live, East 32nd Street, Madison Avenue. Beautiful night tonight. You know, the good thing about this Thanksgiving, it was sunny almost all day. The entire day was bright sunshine. I pretty much took the entire day off. I was out on Long Island, hanging out with my family, having dinner, said hello to the dog, which I haven't seen in quite some time. So it was a good day overall. What about you guys? I see my friend FredX is here. FredX, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Order of Courtly is here, says hello. Mr. Wonderful says howdy, Tom, and everybody. Good to see you, Mr. Wonderful. Walk Ride Adventures says hello from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Love Philly. I'll actually be in Philly in not too distant future. I will be there. Michael says, hey, happy Thanksgiving, Tom, from Corpus Christi, Texas. Love that. Hopefully you are all having a good one out there in Texas. The ABX girl says, Tom, great day. Now I'm getting pie. I ate a lot of food today. Ate a ton of food. I had pumpkin pie today. I see Sam Oliver says, hello, Tom. Good to see you, Sam. The Papa Smurf OG, the FDNY is here. Good to see you, my friend. It says 50 degrees tonight, chilly, stay safe. We appreciate your stream. Well, we appreciate you too, my friend. I appreciate it. Check out the Empire State Building tonight. Now, it's interesting. I think the Empire State Building as well as One Vanderbilt all have the same color scheme. So this is the view from East 33rd Street and Madison Avenue. But if we go up one more block to 34th, and we cross to the other side, we'll actually be able to see one Vanderbilt lit up in the exact same color scheme. Looks pretty good. The garlic says, how long does it take for you to go home and to WeWork? Not too long, not long at all. 30 minutes, I'd say. Sometimes less. Mike C, MSK says, hey Tom and all, good to see you, MSK. KB says, would you do a walk on Long Island? I'm from Nassau County. So I don't think, so I'm from Nassau County too, from Massapequa. And the thing is, the reason why we do a lot of these streams in the city is because when I get off of work, that's sort of really the only time I have to do these streams. And that tends to be right around 8:30 at night. But I don't know, I think I may consider it, but I just don't get to spend as much time as I would like out east on Long Island. It's either I'm in the city a lot in Manhattan, or I'm in Miami, Florida, but love Long Island. I'd definitely love to spend more time there if I could. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Check this out. This is one Vanderbilt lit up in the exact same color scheme as the Empire State Building. Looks fantastic here. Hey Scott, what's up? Scott Wilder says, Tom, as I watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade today, I wondered if Macy's is still healthy as a company and as a stock. I mean, I wouldn't say it's as healthy as it was before, right? I think a lot of major brick and mortar businesses are suffering, and I don't think Macy's is excluded from that sort of conversation. You know, it's funny, we were talking about Lord & Taylor, right? Because as we walked the city and we're looking at all of the famous windows, right? So Macy's at Herald Square, which we're about to see in a minute, one of the most famous things about that store during the holidays is all the windows, right? Now, maybe for those non-New Yorkers, maybe for some New Yorkers, who knows? There's a building right up Fifth Avenue. If you go up about 6 or 7 blocks, it was the very famous Lord & Taylor building, and they unfortunately went out of business. But I remember as a kid going to see the windows, the holiday windows at Lord & Taylor's. It was really, really nice. It's unfortunate that they closed down, and many people were making the argument that Macy's may go the same way as Lord & Taylor. Let's hope not, but who knows? Hey, Bagels and Walks is here. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Melee is joining us. DJ Reviews in Under 2 says happy Thanksgiving from Georgia. Hope you had a great day, my friend. I did. Had a very good day. Took some time off, took it easy. Perfect weather. I spent most of my day out on Long Island, so it was very, very nice. Julia M says happy Thanksgiving, Tom and fam. Right back at you, Julia. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sonia C says happy Thanksgiving, welcome. We are now in the corner of 5th Avenue, 34th Street, sitting right under the Empire State Building. Twitch ASMR, thank you for joining, welcome. So as you guys know, anytime there's a major holiday, right? Anytime there's a major holiday, or if it's Saturday, we do not have a dedicated topic of discussion on the stream. But I did want to bring something to the group's attention because I think it could have extreme spillover effects as it relates to supply chains in the US. This is a very famous hotel. I think it's hotel and condominiums too. Could you imagine living in this building and you have a completely unobstructed view of the Empire State Building? Unbelievable. Really, really nice. You know, I'm surprised they're keeping the Starbucks open that late at night. Usually they all close at like 2 or 3 o'clock here in the city. Anyway, we're noticing, and many of you probably have already heard about this, but we're looking at the, I don't really want to call them riots. I think that may be a little bit of a too aggressive descriptive word. But I would say protests and backlash that is going on specifically at the Foxconn factories in China. Now, if we think about the last earnings call that Apple put out that we did a deep dive through, not only, well, the number one issue, I would say that the number one headwind was currency fluctuations, right? They had about a 600 basis point hit to revenue due to the strong dollar, the Dixie. And they actually, within their forward guidance, they suggested that iPhone 14 Pro capacity, in terms of manufacturing capacity, was going to be very, very limited. And I'm not sure if Apple knew what was going to happen with the protests or the backlash at the Foxconn factories over there in China, but I think Tim Cook is a smart guy, and he sort of saw the writing on the wall, you know, as we talk about this zero COVID policy they're trying to put in place there. So I don't know, I think if these protests, riots, whatever you want to call them, continue over there in China at the Foxconn factories, I think that could actually make a material impact to Q4 earnings. So I think we just need to watch it. Now, the last thing I read, which was an article out of the Wall Street Journal earlier today, is that supposedly Foxconn is offering about $1,400 compensation per employee to sort of settle down and stop these outbursts, so to speak. I'm not sure if it's going to work. We'll have to keep our eyes on it. We'll see. Yeah, Mike C says, I had no idea this was happening at Foxconn. You know, it's interesting because, and I think we've actually heard, there's a specific viewer that always joins the chat that provides some context here. And allegedly, the working conditions at those factories are not the greatest, right? I think that's been well known. And I think these zero COVID policies were just the tipping point. But we'll see. We'll keep our eye on it. I see William Brooklyn is here. Good to see you, William. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend, and thank you for joining us tonight. Lewis is here. Hey, my friend Safat, welcome. Says the New York City Walking Show. Says happy Thanksgiving, Tom. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. We were, me and my family were watching you and Action Kid this morning. Fantastic coverage of the Thanksgiving Day parade. So thank you for the support, and I'm wishing your family a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for the support, my friend, and the great coverage this morning of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Michelle K is here. Says happy Thanksgiving, Tom and everybody. But if you guys are joining us, please check out our friend, the NYC Walking Show. He gives a lot better, I would say, higher resolution, quality, detailed walks throughout the city. And I think it brings a lot of value. So I would please suggest all of you go check it out. If you have not already, please go do that. Yeah, Lewis, November did fly by, my friend. It flew by like crazy. Now, the year is going to be coming to a close. And if we remember from the live stream we did in Miami, I actually took note of all of our projections on where the S&P 500 was going to close. I'm almost finished with my spreadsheet, and we're going to sort of compare that data and do some fun analysis. Hopefully at the New Year's Eve live stream. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in New York for that or Miami, but we'll see. Sunset Blue says, hey Tom, happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, Sunset Blue. Hopefully you had a fantastic day today with you and your family. Julie M says, I still have some Lord & Taylor shopping bags. So iconic, no way. Yeah, I remember walking around the city when I was a very, very little kid with my grandmother. And during the holidays, debatable, right? But Lord & Taylor used to have some of the best holiday windows. So it's kind of sad to see them, you know, go out of business. But I guess that's just the Amazon effect of things, right? So we made it to 34th Street, Herald Square here at Broadway. Now earlier today, this was all blocked off, obviously due to the parade. but they did a really nice job on the outside of the Macy's. Yeah, Whisks' Lord & Taylor was a great store. Indeed it was. Colleen is here, says hello, Tom. Welcome. Using people, so if interest rates are going up and fewer people are buying houses, how are banking mortgage departments coping and dealing with the issue? So if you want to talk about a specific bank that I think has the majority of exposure to the mortgage business, it would probably be Wells Fargo. Now, to be consistent and truthful, on last night's live stream, we actually covered a key piece of economic data that we just received, and it was from the Census Bureau. And the Census Bureau actually came out here and announced new home sales. Now, if you remember from last week's live stream, when the National Association of Realtors released existing home sales, it declined for the 11th straight month in a row, the 11th straight month of declines. However, and this actually caught me off guard and caught me by surprise, new home sales actually went up. There was actually some improvement in the transaction volume of new home sales. However, they did revise down. They did do a negative revision to the September numbers. So it's interesting that even though rates are going up, we had about 100% move in rates. This month, or I should say in October, you actually saw growth in the new home sales sector there. Here's one more shot of One Vanderbilt as we stand here at Herald Square. Sal Bravo says, how's your day job? My day job is good. I really like my job. How's yours? Good to see you, Sal. Smee Media says, do those bells usually toll, or was that just for Thanksgiving? You know, Smee Media, I'm actually not sure. I was actually curious about that myself. I think it comes from this monument here with the owls on it, but thinking about it, I've never remember when it goes off. It may go off at the top of the hour. I'm really not sure. Sweet Country Living in Michigan is here, says, love the shots of those buildings. Thank you, my friend. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving. What I think we're going to do, everybody, because the past couple nights on the live stream, we have actually missed going to the Hudson Yards. So I think let's head there right now before we forget. It's going to be a relatively short stream, only an hour. Being that it is Thanksgiving, I don't think we'll do the full 2, but we'll get it done as much as we can. Hey, Harrison is here. Says, God bless, brothers, sending lots of warm hugs and happy smiles this time around in 2022. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Right back at you. Yeah, Bagels and Walks is loving the lights here. They did a really good job for sure this year. UniJ22 says, hello, Tom and everybody. Welcome. Kurt Flirt says, you sure were right. Kurt Flirt 2 says, you sure were right along about the crypto, I must say, Tom. Yeah, I mean, I think it, in every cycle, it tends to be very, very similar or the same. These pigeons are having Thanksgiving dinner too. Before we go on that, I think one of the best things this year about my Thanksgiving is I got to see my sister's dog, which I haven't seen in a long, long time. Also seeing my sister too, right? Obviously. But my sister has a really nice husky. I would say this my second favorite breed of dog behind a beagle. And man, are those things energetic. I mean, those things have energy for days. You really need to go out and run like 10, 20 miles a day with those things. Anyway. But yeah, I think market cycles are the same in all cases, right? And since I've been involved in this market for a long, long time, and I've seen these big boom and bust, and I've seen the frauds, unfortunately, it's the same thing and it's never different, right? So I think with a lot of the alternative coins, right? These altcoins that have essentially gone to zero, and a lot of these big exchanges that have blown up. Unfortunately, that'll probably continue to happen in perpetuity forever until there's some material regulatory clarity, which, you know, we may be forced to get now that people have lost billions in these sort of Ponzi-like schemes. Oh, Sam Mongano says, I have a husky. Awesome, love that. Yeah, huskies are fantastic. Yeah, Kurt Fleur 2 says, any of those hunting type dogs, you gotta work them. Yeah, beagles, especially when they're young, beagles have a ton of energy. This was the stage, by the way. So if you guys, chances are, if you were watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade today, this is where it ended. And so this was the main coverage where they had all the camera crews and the performances. Hey, Dan Zhang, what's up? Says, hey, Tom, how was your Thanksgiving dinner with your family? It was good, no complaints. I hope you had a very good Thanksgiving as well. It was good to sort of take the day off, right? I think this was the first day in a while where I sort of didn't do anything work-related, didn't really do too much reading. I sort of just kind of hung out, which was good. Now, even though tomorrow is technically a work day, right? I mean, let me know what you guys think, but I think everybody's pretty much taken off. Who here in the chat is not taking off tomorrow for the day after Thanksgiving? Joe L says, hello from Yorktown Heights, New York. I found you a few days ago. Great stream. I do watch the NYC Walking Show. Started watching July 4th. Yeah, that's a fantastic channel. And he was actually doing live coverage of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade today. And you know what's actually kind of funny? Not to sort of upset all of the mainstream, I'd say, media outlets. If you want to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's actually better to watch it through like Safat's channel, Action Kid, because there's no commercials and they're ground level, right? But when I watch it on the TV, it's you get like 5 seconds of action and then it's commercials and just commentary. I don't know. Maybe it's a hot take. Stephanie says, I'm working, but not too much. Seems like a lot of people are off. Brad's Brain says, Tom, you know I'm working tomorrow. That's what I do. Yeah, small business owners, I guess, never stop working, right? 24/7, 365. Steph UH says, that's true. Love it. So Jay says, Tom, my company has Friday as a part of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. I mean, it should be, right? I think it really should be, because on a productivity basis, everybody's really all checked out. And you guys know I'm in sales, and pretty much everybody's gone. Now, if you're early, I'll give you a quick tip, right? Quick tip on this Thanksgiving. If you're very, very early on in your sales career, let's say if you're selling software or really whatever you're selling, I've actually found the most success getting through to decision makers right around the holidays, especially during my days in SMB sales. You know, when I was a teenager, turning 20s, selling into SMB, small to medium-sized businesses. Now I sell into the enterprise space, which is, you know, Fortune 500, Global 2000. But it always seemed like I would get through the decision makers either the day before holidays and leading up to it. And I think, and I don't know the exact reason why, but I think it's because a lot of small businesses, sometimes they're a 1 or 2 man show and they have to sort of stay open no matter what. But we'll continue down. We'll continue down to the Hudson Yards. Sal Bravo says, I hear it's really easy to get into tech sales. I guess it depends on what you're selling. I guess it depends. Hey, Sabrina Fair, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Twitch ASMR is another satisfied customer. What is your take on commercial real estate? There was a lot of fear, anything coming to reality. Well, let's talk about from a global macro perspective first. And I think I've said this a bunch of times, going back, I think 6 months now, when I was drawing everybody's attention. And I think I actually wrote a piece on this in the Behind the Street newsletter, drawing your attention to the commercial paper market in China specifically. And if you compare the levels, and if you want to look at an indice, just pull up any of the Crane shares, Chinese commercial paper market bond funds. I'm trying to think of the ticker, KKBH, something like that. But look at where you were trading at in 2020 with the COVID crash, right? With the COVID lockup. We're trading significantly below those levels. So if you thought there was no liquidity in the market then, what do you think is going on now? Now, I have a couple, I guess, speculations as to why you're not seeing a massive implosion. I think you are starting to see some cracks there specifically, but I think the market is banking on the CCP to just come in and backstop and should anything happen and just backstop the market. In the United States, one of the things that I've been following very, very closely, and let me know if you guys are hearing a lot of wind noise in the chat, or in the audio. It is kind of windy as we head to Hudson Yards. But did anybody notice a very, very common theme as we rolled through Q3 earnings? Specifically with Meta and now with ExxonMobil. If you look all the way in the distance, you'll see the Moynihan train station, as well as the very famous Madison Square Garden. So one of the biggest complaints from analysts in relation to Meta is the capital expenditure. Really, really ridiculous. But I think there was $1 billion worth of spend from Meta trying to break and bust their existing leases. And I think they may try to sublease a lot of their office space. Now, we also got similar news coming out of ExxonMobil, and ExxonMobil is looking to do the exact same thing with their major corporate headquarters in Houston, Texas. So another quick example is KPMG, which is a big, one of the bigger consulting companies, right? You can think about KPMG, EY, Deloitte. Beautiful view of the empire here. But KPMG actually ditched their office space on the east side of Manhattan, and they're moving into the prime real estate right here at the Hudson Yards. So I think you're going to see a huge mass exodus from a lot of the older buildings into the Class A high quality, and that is going to leave a ton of vacant space. Because, if you think about it, I don't think remote work is going to be the end-all be-all, but I do think hybrid work will be. And if you're only having your employees come into the office, let's say 2, maybe 3 times a week, you don't need all of this crazy amount of office space, right? So I think the cities, in all major cities, it's not just exclusive to New York, I think they're going to need to come to some sort of an agreement here, either with developers and the city, to start to rip and replace a lot of existing older office buildings in the city and maybe make them into more affordable housing units to sort of solve the housing problem we have. But yeah, I sort of always say follow the money. And from a lot of these earnings reports, it seems as if a lot of people are trying to get out of that space. I don't know, what are you guys seeing? Using people's as how do consulting companies like KPMG and Deloitte compete with each other, they get better talent. Yeah, many of which, hire or poach In the industry, it's called poaching, right? So if you are in consulting or investment banking or even in tech, one of the key terms is, the recruiters will try to poach away your talent. I actually got hired at one of my former companies like that. Dan Zhang, what's up? Says, hey Tom, have you seen the news that Bill Ackman has a short position on Hong Kong dollar? He's betting the peg between the US dollar and Hong Kong will break. I did see that. So I saw that on Twitter. Now, I didn't have enough time to look into it as much as I should. But Bill Ackman wrote a very, very long and detailed thread about it on his Twitter page. Look, I mean, my take, I got to go back and read it. You guys know, I do respect Bill Ackman a lot. He's a very, very controversial guy on Wall Street. But I find it very unlikely that the US dollar will ever lose its reserve currency status, in my opinion. Hey, Gary Carpenter is here. Good to see you. Gary John is here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Karina Thompson, always appreciate you. Twitch ASMR says unused commercials should become affordable housing in the near future. I think it's a good idea. I think it would help cities like New York specifically, and some cities in Illinois and California. Because the biggest problems is getting the permits and overcoming all of the bureaucracy to start actually building, right? So I think a creative way to get around all that nonsense is to come to an agreement, because if you want to actually change the laws, that's going to take forever and it's probably not going to materialize. But if you could just gut renovate a lot of these older office buildings and turn them into apartments, I think that's probably an easier way to do it. The infrastructure is already there, right? Now, I'll give you an exact example of where they already did this. If you go to Zillow or any sort of apartment hunting website, and I think they completed this while I was working downtown. So the building is 95 Wall Street. It's actually a really, really nice place too. Check it out. You'll sort of see that the apartments, they're very boxy. It's almost like you could tell it's an office building, right? But they did a conversion. Here's the thing. 95 Wall Street is like a luxury building, an extremely, extremely luxury building. And it seems as if anytime they do these conversions, it always goes to the luxury. Probably because the demand is still there. But 95 Wall Street's a really nice building. I used to work adjacent from it, right there at the Andaz Hotel. I'm not sure if anybody stayed there. Patrick, New York. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Sai says, hey Tom, what is the best platform to invest in US stocks in India? Do you guys have access to Interactive Brokers? Now, I can't really advise individual investments, but the broker dealers that I use is Interactive Brokers and Charles Schwab. And I think Interactive Brokers, you could really have access to anything. Wow, check this out. This is a beautiful Christmas tree here in the lobby. I think this is what is the address of this building? 1 Manhattan West, I think. This is one of the newer buildings here. I think the NHL's headquarters is based here. Also EY, we were just talking about EY. Accenture too, that is a big tech consulting firm. Brad's Brain says, Tom, think about it. You transition from remote work away from office and to remote working in your old office. Has a creepy China business dorm feel to it. Yeah. Sai says, yeah, currently using Vested. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of that. Now, the only thing that I'll say is, and we got a lot of these questions during a lot of the frothiness during the major bull market. And a lot of people would say, you know, what do you think about Robinhood? What do you think about Webull? All this stuff. As a general rule, in my opinion, right? Anytime you have a platform or an investment platform doing very aggressive marketing to try to attract investors with like free stocks and all this nonsense, referral programs, you should probably stay away from that. In just my view, right? I think since the stream has grown, I can't really go all out and wallop on these guys due to obvious reasons. But I would stay away from the Robinhoods of the world, the Webulls, any of those discount broker dealers. I think their business models are rather unethical in nature. Hey, Dr. Longus, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, brother. Good to see you. Liam, welcome. Friendship Lights, God bless you. Thank you for your donation. Just happy Thanksgiving, Tom. I am thankful for all you do. I am thankful for all you do as well. And thank you for the support and joining me here on the live stream nightly. So thank you, Friendship Lights, for the donation and for the well wishes. You are very kind. Check this building out for a minute, everybody. You see the little like triangle thing sticking out off the side? So this is the Edge, and it is a very, very sought after tourist attraction. I should say observation deck, right? Now, I've never been to it, but I've seen some YouTube videos. There's been tons of people who've made some really nice videos from up there. Really, really nice views. And I think the interesting thing about the Edge is it's so far over to the west side of Manhattan. So you can really see every single major building. I would say famous building in Manhattan. Now, I think I always get this question, what is my favorite observation deck in New York? I think it's still 30 Rock, right? It's not the Empire State Building, because if you're on top of the Empire State Building, you can't see the Empire State Building, right? So I think 30 Rock, Rockefeller Center, top of the Rock, is still my favorite. But again, I have yet to go to the Edge. And I've also haven't gone to One Vanderbilt either, so. Twitch ASMR says, any thoughts on payment for order flow going away in the United States? I highly, highly doubt it's gonna go away. And see, the problem is, everybody got all upset with payment for order flow during the pandemic due to this meme stock nonsense, right? We're actually going to go in the shops at I always say Columbus Circle, shops at the Hudson Yards for a minute. It's really, really nice in there. I think you guys are going to like it. But everybody sort of got upset with payment for order flow during the meme stock thing. But these were all people that were not experienced in investing, and they really don't know what they're talking about, with all due respect. Payment for order flow is the only reason. Payment for order flow is the only reason why you get quote unquote free trades, right? If it wasn't for payment for order flow, these retail investors would still be paying egregious commissions. And the argument here is, what they're saying is that payment for order flow is the reason we're losing money in the stock market. It couldn't be further from just total hoax. The reason why you're losing money in the stock market is not because Citadel is scraping a couple points from you on the bid, right? Okay. In some cases, they actually have done studies, and your execution is actually more precise as it relates to before payment for order flow. If you're complaining because you're getting filled at a couple pennies less, well, okay, let's go back to square one and let's start to pay $50 on the bid and the ask again. So I don't think it's going to go away. Hey, the Mighty Bull, thank you so much for your $10 donation. You are very kind. This is Happy Thanksgiving, Tom. Thank you for a great 2022. Great work and well done. Thank you, Mighty Bull. You're very, very kind. I appreciate you. And thank you for giving us inspiration for the stream. So here we are in the shops at the Hudson Yards. This is probably one of the cleanest malls I've ever been in my life, aside from Brickell City Center. Yeah, but I would argue payment for order flow is generally a good thing, right? Let's say if you wanted to buy a share of Apple, and maybe you wanted to buy it at, $100, and you get filled at $100.01. All right, big deal, right? That's not the reason why people are losing money in the market. If anything, payment for order flow generally increases the overall liquidity in the market and reduces volatility. There's been studies done with that too. Quantitative trading, or these quant shops, quantitative market makers on the street, are actually very positive for liquidity in the market. Wow, check this out, everybody. We've been here before, but this looks fantastic. Jenny says, what happened to Bernie Madoff? I think he's still in prison, isn't he?
He showed up to get the food.
Wow, Liam says Hudson Yards, $6,000 a month for a one bedroom. That's a lot. Hey, Brendan O'Brien says, hey Tom, how can Powell bring inflation into target range without effectively a massive reduction in the value of risk assets from the current levels? Does he really care if something breaks? Yeah, I think that's the main question, right? Now, in my case, I don't think so. I mean, I would say the answer is no. And when we're talking about, and I think your question is fantastic because we always harp on this on the stream, you need to first develop a macroeconomic framework before you start to generate investment ideas based off of individual stocks, right? Because there's very, very high correlation between, wow, this looks really nice here, between GDP growth impacting corporate earnings in a positive way. And when corporate earnings grow, generally speaking, the S&P 500 should appreciate, right? So corporate earnings, so you could think about it like a flow chart. GDP is here, corporate earnings, S&P 500, and then they all impact each other. Now, what is the main driver, right? We're talking about the Federal Reserve. Well, the reason why everybody harps on the Fed so much is because they set the price of money, essentially. They set the benchmark from which all other financial assets are priced. Now, in the United States, we generally look at the 10-year U.S. Treasury yield as the benchmark from which other assets are priced, right? Debt securities. And when the problem is, the Fed has held interest rates near zero for almost 14 years, right? So that has caused a lot of these individual stocks to trade at ridiculous valuations. It's called a multiple expansion. So when you manipulate the price or the cost of money, right, and if we think about how we evaluate companies, it's all about predicting the future value of a company's particular cash flows in accordance to the discount rate. So as the discount rate goes up, the future value of those cash flows are worth less today, and you have asset prices coming down. So if you put a chart of the Fed funds rate in accordance to the equity market, let's just say the S&P 500, they tend to move in lockstep, right? Especially if you pull up a chart of the Fed balance sheet, which is made up of mostly mortgage-backed securities and U.S. Treasuries. As the Federal Reserve has been on a bond buying binge, right? So if you think about the correlation between bond prices and yields, if the Fed is buying bonds, that's suppressing yields. And when bonds sell off, yields spike. So you've had the Federal Reserve put a constant bid under the market, providing liquidity, and then assets go to the moon. So going back to your point, I don't think you're going to have to break something if you really take interest rates, I would say, to a more normal level. If we get Fed funds to 7%, which I think is possible, a lot of people think that's a little bit aggressive. I think you're going to see further declines in the stock market. But as of now, the 2 follow-through days that we have gotten over the past 2 weeks, they've seemed to have held. So we will trade with the trend. Hey, Sabrina Fair, thank you for joining. Sabrina says, I'm taking off. Thanksgiving dinner is ready. Have a fantastic evening. You as well, and I'm wishing you and your family a fantastic Thanksgiving dinner. Brendan O'Brien says, thanks, Tom. Macro has never been more important. Yeah, I try to, and I also try not to get too caught up in it as well, but I think it's important to understand where we're coming from, where we are now, and where we're going. But at the end of the day, look, I have been increasing my long exposure, but it seems as if a lot of the equity indices are bumping right up against the 200-day, right, for the S&P as it relates to the S&P. And we'll see. I think maybe Wall Street analysts are going to downgrade a lot of these corporate earnings, so you're going to have corporate earnings revisions to the downside. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But I think tomorrow is going to be pretty much a nothing day because it's going to be very, very low volume. Pretty much everybody's out of the office. Hey, CeeLo is here. Good to see you, CeeLo. From Canada. Good to see all of our friends from Canada here. Sunshine After Rain as our great moderator. Happy Thanksgiving to you as we are here at the Hudson Yards. Luis Garcia says, no updates on the railroad strike. You know what? I was going to ask you guys about that because I saw something. I think a Twitter page that I follow tweeted about it, that there was going to be some substantial railroad strike, and then I never heard anything about it, so maybe it was resolved. Anybody know anything about that? Bruno says, night, gentlemen and ladies. Happy Thanksgiving. First time here in the channel, and I'm loving it. Do you guys work in finance or tech? Well, I'll speak for myself. I work in tech, so I'm in enterprise software sales. So I sell software into the Fortune 500 Global 2000. But I think we have a lot of people here. We have a mixed bag here. Very, very diverse crew. But thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Wow, check out the vessel up close. Scott says, what is that structure? So this is called the vessel. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did they open it back up again? Because I remember doing these live streams last year, and this was all closed for unfortunate reasons. I won't sort of bring any attention to it, but I think it may be open again for tourists to go up. So this is the Equinox building, or the Equinox Hotel, and I think it's upwards of $1,000 a night for a hotel room there. Really crazy. Okay, Jay says they're still negotiating. Biden, no comment yet. Oh, Deborah says it is still closed? Wow. I've been up in it before when it was open. It was actually kind of nice, but I understand why it is closed. Okay, so Colleen says only the first floor is open. Man, they did a really nice job at the Hudson Yards this year. CeeLo says, Tom, thank you for sharing. Happy Thanksgiving Day to you. Right back at you. Even though the Canadians, for you guys in Canada, Thanksgiving was when? Last month, right? Wow, so Jenny says, Tom, my friend from Arizona is a member of the board in Washington, D.C. for the railroad. Wow. Any insights there? Someone says, my ex-husband was a railroad engineer. They are never home, horrible work schedules, and very demanding. Wow. Yeah, I could imagine. I have a lot of respect, and I think I've said this before on the stream, for people that do like real work, like I say, like manual labor. Especially in the Northeast, when you're outside exposed to the elements in freezing cold weather. It's really unbelievable. Julie M says China on lockdown again. Yeah, I'm watching that very closely. Very, very closely, especially as it relates to Apple. And look, I think this is just going to push the narrative. It's going to continuously push the narrative that US companies, and even companies in Europe too, need to start to domesticate their supply chains. And this is already starting to happen. Now, I think who really set the standard for that, really quickly, this building is called The Shed. It actually moves out and in. Really, really unique architecture here. But I think Apple really started to set the standard for that. And then a lot of the semiconductor companies have invested billions of dollars stateside into building semiconductor fabs or chip fabs. The only problem with that is that it's probably not going to be ready for production until 2026. But we need to start doing that ASAP, because look at all of the, and again, I don't want to use the term riots. I don't want to be one to stoke fear and things like that, but look at what's going on with all these Foxconn workers in China rebelling. And so far, the negotiations was, okay, we'll give you $1,400 if you guys stop rioting. I don't think that's going to cut it. I don't think that's going to cut it. I think some of these workers have had it there. Hey, Destructionist is walking off the turkey. I am. I ate a lot today, so hopefully we'll burn some calories. I wanted to take you guys on the High Line, but I think it may be closed. We'll see. I think the people are closing it down now. G says, good evening from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you for joining. Happy Thanksgiving all the way from New York City. Once again, this is The Shed here. The Garlic says, do you do other workouts besides walking? I do, but mostly when I'm in Miami. I have more time to hit the weights. Also, I've been starting jiu-jitsu, which has been very taxing as well. So here's one more view. You have the Equinox Hotel, and you also have the Edge in the same shot. And here's one more look at the vessel here. The Garlic, I don't think I could teach anybody anything. I'm such a newbie at it. I'm so bad. Hey, Marie Rose says hello from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'll be in Southern Florida very soon. Love Fort Lauderdale, absolutely gorgeous there. I know, SME Media, my God. Anybody watch the Brazil game today? I mean, talk about an amazing, amazing goal. Let me know if you guys can hear wind in the microphone. It's really, really windy up here. But I'll take you guys on the High Line. Hey, Google is here. What's up? Happy Thanksgiving, Google. Welcome. All right, I'm gonna put you guys down for 2 seconds. I just gotta zip up my jacket because it's crazy windy up here. Okay, sorry about that. Now, as we walk down the High Line, you're gonna see some amazing apartment complexes here that are just so unique. So here's another view from the High Line, overlooking street level here. Oh, do you guys see that? That guy just slammed into that thing. I think we just caught that live. Holy crap. Wait, did he hit that or is that just me? Could anybody confirm in the chat? I think this guy may have accidentally hit this thing. Oh man, that's too bad. I hope he's all right. Maybe these guys are checking on him. Maybe we'll have to go down there and see if he's all right. Okay, they're checking on him. That's good. Dang, that was a big boom. I hope he's okay. See, just a quick tip. You gotta really watch it when you're walking around New York, especially when you're crossing the street. Because could you imagine, okay, let's roll through this for a minute, all right? Could you imagine if there weren't these barriers there? If there weren't any of the barriers, that car would have ripped right through all of these seating, right? If he was closer. So you really, really got to pay attention. I always say that when I'm walking. I just don't trust the drivers. Both in Miami too, they're so bad. So, I mean, thank God for all these barriers. If these were not there, he would have flown right into the pedestrians potentially. Well, I hope he's all right. Hopefully he's not drinking and driving. Ooh, someone's chasing after him, I think. Oh my God, here comes the police. Ooh. Oh no.
He got in an accident, right?
Oh, maybe it was a hit and run. I didn't see it, guys, so maybe you could. Maybe I should get away from this. I think I should get away from this in case. Oh no. I mean, if it's me, I think this guy has to be intoxicated. That's why he doesn't want to get out. I think he knows he messed up. I think he knows he's driving drunk. He's trying to run away, holy shit! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa! Look at him, he's going! Oh man! Holy crap! Oh my god. Oh no, I don't know. Holy crap, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Oh, Maron. I think he must have to be on something, man. He just crushed every single one of these guys' cars here. Oh, sorry about that. The park is closed, so we gotta head out. Holy crap. That's unfortunate we had to see that stuff. Now, I know it's exciting. I know that it's exciting, but if you really think about it, he could have killed people, you know? That guy slamming through all of those cars, he could have killed somebody on a holiday night. I think that guy's really selfish. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I just got to get down to the street level. I think yeah, pineapple water. I'm gonna have to show that to police officers. Hey, Lupe is here. Good to see you, Lupe. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the support and being a great moderator on the channel this year. I appreciate it. Ah, man, that's insane. See, but the thing is, like, I'm reading a lot of the comments. I get it. Like, we like the live action and stuff, but it's actually kind of depressing because look at all the people that are out, right, trying to enjoy the holiday. Like, you have families with kids walking around, and he could have killed somebody, that guy. He may be in the process of doing it. You know, it's not funny. It's kind of sucks. And you know what's crazy? Maybe you guys, tell me if you agree or not. Why would that guy, he must have hit at least 5 or 6 cars, right? Would you agree? Am I overstating that? I would say he probably damaged about 5 or 6 cars and trying to run away from the police. Dude, you're in Midtown Manhattan. There's a camera on every single street. Like, literally, do you really think you're gonna run away and get away scot-free? I mean, the mental clarity is just so inept. If anything, it just gets you in more trouble, right? He must have been drunk or something. He must have. All right, we'll go down and we'll see the where it happened. Then we'll move on. We'll move on from it. Hey, DJ Mike. Good to see you, Mike. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Man, it is a windy night, though. I think we're gonna head further in to Midtown. And another thing, why I really don't like being in those types of situations there. Like, you never know what these people can do, right? You know, what if somebody pulls a gun and there's bullets flying? I don't want to catch a stray bullet. I hate all that. I know it's a lot of people like the excitement. I actually hate that stuff, but all right, we will make a left on 31st Street, head back into Midtown, and then we will at least try to go all the way back up to Central Park South, where we will conclude the stream. Let's see if there's any damage on the pole here. Hey, Penelope is here. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Penelope. Penelope is joining us from Tennessee. Always a pleasure to have you. Oh wow, yeah, there is some damage here. You can see the dents on the pole. Again, thank God for these barriers, because if it wasn't for these barriers, he'd be shooting right in here. All right, we will head out now. I just wanted to see. Yeah, Brad, I'm gonna send it. I know a lot of, oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna send it in, don't worry. I got it covered. But for those just tuning in, this is usually a show based about walking around New York City and Miami, discussing the financial markets. Very seldom do we see crazy things like that. So if you want to stick around as we explore New York, talk about the financial markets, feel free to hit the like button. And hit the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams about 5 days a week between New York City and Miami. And we have discussions about the financial markets. Check out the edge here, all lit up. Hey, Teresa Ma, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you in the chat again. Welcome. Oh yeah, that is true. Where's my Z? We did see that at the, what was that? The New York Public Library? I know, pineapple water. It's, yeah, pineapple water says this is not a good video representation of what Tom does daily. Yeah, it is not, but hey, Teresa Diaz, thank you so much for the $5 donation. This is Tom Get a Coffee. I think I may. Now, a few days ago, I got a coffee at McDonald's. Surprisingly, McDonald's hot coffee is very, very good. Very good. All right, we'll wait for the light here and then we will cross over. Now, one of the things I like about Hudson Yards area in general, a lot of all of these old warehouses are actually now being turned into, or just torn down and turned into, these luxury apartment buildings. Just look at the contrast from a building like this, right? Check out how old and archaic it is, in contrast to the new, brand new sort of glass skyscrapers that are going up all over the Hudson Yards. Now, if you remember on the live stream about, man, I think this was almost a month ago now, if you could believe that, we actually ran into, by chance, wasn't planned, we actually had ran into one of the developers that designed and developed the lobby of all of these Hudson Yards buildings. It was a really cool experience. We sort of like did an impromptu interview. Really, really high quality stuff here. But we are approaching the Moynihan train hall, where you can get the Amtrak train, the New Jersey Transit, Long Island Railroad, and you have a beautiful view of the Empire State Building right here. Teresa Diaz, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Says, thank you, new subscribers. 24,900 people. That's insane. I thank you guys very, very much for supporting this stream. 24,000 strong. That's wild. I think that's almost enough to pack into Madison Square Garden. You know what? Very seldom on the live stream do we ever get a shot of the Empire from this angle. I think with the Empire, in contrast, up against One Penn Plaza, as well as the Moynihan train hall, I think this is a pretty good shot. I'm gonna give it a 9.4. It would be higher if it wasn't for this building that they're actually just building. This is new construction here. You would be able to see the entire Empire State Building. But now we can only see the top. Pretty good view though. Wow, you guys want to see something else that's really amazing? Look at the height of the ceilings in this lobby. Okay, so check out this building. Look at the ceiling height in the lobby. And this is, obviously it's not completed yet. These are the elevator shafts here. But the lobby is almost like an atrium in itself, is it? This is some perspective of how tall the actual structure is. But it's almost as if you have a mini atrium in your building. Oh, and you can even see the New Yorker Hotel sign from here. Very cool. Andy S., good to see you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Rolf is here. Wendy, England. All right, since it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to attempt, okay, and we haven't been successful so far, but I think I may attempt to bring you guys through the Moynihan train hall, but the internet is just so horrible in there that I think the stream may die. But it is Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll have some luck on our side. So I'm gonna attempt it. And if we buffer, just let me know and then I'll walk out. But They did a really good job in here. And I've been meaning to show everybody for some time now, but the internet just sucks in here for whatever reason. Hey, Ryan Royal, what's up? Good to see you, Ryan. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, oh, this is Thanksgiving special. Ignacio says, what building is this? So this is the brand new Moynihan train hall, but this actually used to be a post office, right? This was the main post office. Now, the front of the building is still in operation as a traditional post office, but the rest of the building is a beautiful, beautiful train hall. Hey, Stephen D, thank you so much for your $2 donation. I appreciate it very, very much. All right, let's attempt to go in here. We'll see if we start to buffer, but usually the internet is not that good. Every time we go in here, it buffers. CJ says, we appreciate you taking the time to show us even on Thanksgiving. Thank you, CJ. You could see how amazing everything is here. Hey, Lorianne, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a very good Thanksgiving. And thank you for joining us here. Yeah, it's a bummer that it always buffers in here, but now down here is where you see the main tracks, I should say. And I was in here this morning and it was absolutely packed. I've never seen the amount of people that were in this train hall than I saw this morning, for obvious reasons, right? People go into their holiday, Thanksgiving. The architecture here, absolutely gorgeous. NMD045 says, Tom, are you gonna have time to reach Central Park West tonight? I think we may just make it there because we're about to boogie on out of here in a minute. I just wanted to show you guys the Moynihan train hall. There's no internet down here. Mary says, I was in that train station this summer. Glad to see it's all setting up now. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I think there's a Birch coffee here. There's Blue Bottle. Also, Magnolia Bakery is right here. Jason Frank. All right, now we will enter the post office. So this is what I was talking about, right? This entire building used to be a post office, but the front of it is still an operational post office to this day. Hey, my friend Jewel Mar is here. Good to see you, Jewel Mar. Hopefully you're planning your trip to New York this coming up December. The James A. Farley building. Now here is the main post office. Hey, Audiophile is here. Says hello from Long Island, New York. Good to see all of our Long Islanders. Hey, Muscle Man, says Tom, I'm going to be taking the train from New Haven down to see the Chinese New Year parade this year. Hey, that's going to be awesome, man. Please enjoy your time. All right, now we are back in the thick of it, back in the concrete jungle, my friends. 8th Avenue, 33rd Street, right outside of Madison Square Garden, looking at the beautiful Empire State Building. And now let's cut into the city and let's head back up. So hopefully tonight on the stream, we will be able to walk through Radio City Music Hall, that area, all the way up to Central Park South, where we will be concluding the stream. So we'll walk up to 34th Street and then make a right. This is the New York Times building, by the way. Now, on this channel, we talk about enterprise software a lot. And there is a very, very recognizable company that is in the New York Times building. It goes by the name of Datadog or Datadog. Ticker symbol DDOG. Oh, Audiophile says I'm in the city every Wednesday. I'm assuming what, you're on like a hybrid work schedule? You don't have to come in every day? You know, I've noticed that. I think I've said it before. Mondays, so if you're thinking about like the work week, right? Mondays are always dead. Tuesdays are pretty packed. Wednesdays are iffy, but Thursdays is really the day in the city that it seems to be like everything's back to normal. Like when I was working my office job here in like 2018. For whatever reason, people seem to tend to choose to work in the city Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, Joan K says hello, Tom. Good to see you, Joan. Trust you're well. I don't know. So the garlic says why Thursday? Well, here's sort of what I think. Obviously Monday, nobody wants to get up and wake up early on Monday. And if you work remote on Monday, that really means, you know, you're rolling out of bed. And, you know, if you have a Zoom meeting at 8:30, that means you woke up at probably 8:25. Right? I mean, if we're being honest, I think we could be honest. You're probably just rolling out of your bed, turn on your Microsoft Teams meeting maker, and you're at it. And then it'll give yourself a day to recuperate. And then Tuesday, everybody's in the city. Thursday, everybody wants to come in because Friday they want to work remote. Hey, Line 6, Tom, I trust you have your Union Jack ready to wave during the match Friday. Dude, that's going to be a great game. I'm thinking about streaming it from a bar here, maybe, but my concern is that we're going to get the channel taken down because sometimes, especially with FIFA, even if you accidentally show any type of their game at all, they won't just give you a copyright strike, they'll just take the channel down. So I don't really want to risk that. Yeah, MCQ2 says, you're right, I love remote working. You aren't spending all the get ready and travel time. That's true. I think for me, I'm just sick of for me personally, right? I think I'm just sick of the remote work because, I don't know, I feel like I'm not being productive. And again, it's all relative, right? Some people love it, some people don't. I'm in sales, so I tend to want to be very hands-on with the customer. I want to go to the customer's office, meet with them. And I don't think I get that same experience remote. I don't know. I think it's probably just like a psych thing. But when I put on a nice clean white shirt, go into the city, like I feel productive. I can't just slouch around in my chair all day. I don't know. Again, relative. If you have kids or something like that, remote work is a blessing. But if you're in your 20s, I think you got to get out and get after it. I don't think you should be wasting it away in at home. Line 6 says, Tom, FIFA rights issues. I think they'd not be amused if you showed more than a few seconds. I know, they're buzzkills. Because chances are, when USA plays England, the bars here are going to be really good time, right? For obvious reasons. And I was thinking, I'm like, should I stream it? I think that'd be cool to stream like the crowd, just so people could see what it's like to watch. Because there's probably going to be a big English presence here too, in New York. So I don't know. It's undecided, but probably not. I'll see. Hey, Ed Potke is joining us. Says happy Thanksgiving, Tom and everybody. Good to see you, Ed. Ed is joining us from Corning, New York, and upstate. Always a pleasure. Mike C says, I got a small taste of working from home. I don't really like it. PB on the go says, I hate working from home. I just think after a while it gets old. It got old for me, right? But at the end of the day, I don't like speaking for anybody else, especially if I'm part of a bigger work organization. If you're just as productive with working from home as you are in the office, then yeah, sure, do it. But I don't know, I just feel, and it's probably like a mental thing, right? There's been studies that show if you really, really don't want to work out and you're like, oh my God, I just can't make it to the gym today. Just the mere act of putting on your gym clothes, right? If you just change into your shorts and t-shirt and just sit on the couch, your brain is going to force you to go to the gym. So I think it may be one of those type things where if I'm just laying around in the house in a t-shirt all day, making calls, I just don't feel as productive as if I were to suit up, go to the city, maybe run my meetings, take a couple clients out to lunch, something like that. I think maybe that's the issue. All right, so now we are outside Macy's, 34th Street, Herald Square once again. War Walker says, I prefer quote unquote working from the crib. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Disney Hatch, good to see you, Disney. Hey, Jordan from Canada is here. Good to see you. So a little bit off topic here, but I guess it's Thanksgiving. We don't have a financial topic for tonight. We're just sort of hanging out. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think he's the only person to score in, what is it now, 4 World Cups or is it 5? Did anybody watch the Portugal game today? I think it's either 4 or 5. Could anybody confirm or deny that? I think it may be 5. The first person to score a goal in 5 consecutive World Cups. That's insane. Yeah, Ignacio says you think it's 5. It's an unbelievable feat. It was a great game. Crazy game. Yeah. You know what else was a crazy, crazy game? The South Korea game. Now, I think this was the only game in World Cup history that there wasn't a single shot on goal recorded. It seems like this World Cup has a lot of firsts. Now, I think this may have been in the 2014 World Cup. I think the United States men's national team holds the record for the fastest goal ever scored in a World Cup. And I think it was by Clint Dempsey too, or his nickname Deuce. I know, Al Baker's like, just to score 1 goal is unreal. So true. But the biggest upset, in my view, I know a lot of people are going to say the biggest upset is the Argentina game, but I think the biggest upset was the Japan game. That was a good game. Japan, Germany. You know, the Japanese team they're historically not, they're very quick. I think I've explained this in our last live stream. But there's two teams that I really find I always carve out time to watch in every World Cup. And one of them is Japan and the other one is Ghana. And they're not the best teams, but they're always the most interesting and fun to watch. Because the Japanese players they always tend to be very, very quick. Now, not fast, they're not the fastest runners, but their touch is always so clean and concise. The team chemistry is fantastic, and they always give everything. Like, you will never see a game where the Japanese national team doesn't like pour every freaking ounce they have on the field. And then Ghana too. Now, I would say the best game involving Ghana, maybe being a little bit biased here, is always the U.S. national team playing Ghana. Now, I think it was the 2014 World Cup when we were in the group of death, did they call that? So we were in with who? Portugal. What was it? Portugal, Ghana. I forget the others. England. And Ghana's team is always very, very strong players, very physical. And I think that bodes well historically with the U.S. team because Americans are not the best soccer players. We tend to play soccer with a very, very different style, and it tends to be more physical. Now, if you look at a team like Spain, like the Spanish national team, if you want, and I think I said this yesterday, if you want to know how the game is actually supposed to be played, you should go back and watch the Spain game. And it's not just because they scored 7 goals, right? It's the way they play. Everything is 1-2 touch. It's like they're playing ping pong, right? I remember in my college soccer days when we would watch film, the coach would scream. He's like, Tom, count how many seconds the ball was at your feet. And if you took more than 2 or 3 touches, he's like, look, we're going to pull you next game that you do that. Everything has to be 1-2 touch, like knocking it around the field. And that's exactly how Spain plays. And it is so difficult to do that. And my favorite goal of the World Cup this year was by that 18-year-old, I forget his name. I posted it on my Twitter feed. If you follow at Walks Wall Street. It was just such an unbelievable goal. He takes it off the outside of his foot on the volley, hits it off the inside of the right post and in. It is just it's almost an impossible task to do that. I know, Ignacio, it's like impossible to get the ball from them. Gavi, yes. And he's 18. 18 years old too, crazy. That was a really, really good game. Jordan from Canada says 18, not even born in the year 2000. Now that's really scary. Think about that for a minute. It's crazy to think that there's people that we're going to be working with, or probably already are working with, that are born in the year 2000, 2001. It just doesn't seem right. It's weird. Now, I remember when I got my first job here in the city, I was a teenager, and all of the older people at the office would ask me, you know, what year were you born? And I said I was born in 1995. And their reaction was, I cannot believe we're working with somebody who was born in 1995. They're like, what the heck? And that's exactly how I feel now with people born in the year 2000. It's wild. Ooh, NMB 045. This is your favorite bodegas behind me. So the Bryant Deli. You know, I think the same owners who own that deli also own the bodega where I used to live. It's called Mercy Market. And that is on the corner of Avenue of the Americas and 58th, I think. It's actually a Korean deli. It's very good. Ooh, Dusty Cole, you're correct. Brazil style, Jogo Bonito, fantastic. The Brazil, I forget who scored the goal, but that bicycle kick goal was ridiculous today. Crazy. Wow. Ignacio, I think that's the bicycle kick goal, right? We're Brazil. Ah, you're right, Gomez, you're correct. All right, team, we finally made it. This is the Winter Village here at West 40th Street, Bryant Park. Ed Podke, thank you. That goal was insane. Now, I think Neymar is hurt, right? Is that true? So Neymar may be out for the next game. I could have sworn I saw that. I think he rolled his ankle in the game, right? Didn't he? Luisa says hello from Brazil. Good to see you. Welcome to all of our Brazilian viewers. Great game, by the way, today. I enjoyed watching it. Andy S says I was watching the Portugal game. Someone says I'm from Brazil and I love New York. I love the Giants. Big Blue is back. Good to see all of our Brazilian viewers in the chat. So this is One Vanderbilt. Now the main building right there is the Stephen Schwarzman building, New York Public Library. And Stephen Schwarzman made the vast majority of his money in LBOs or leveraged buyout deals. All right, at times like these, I wish we had smell-o-vision on Walks on Wall Street. These Christmas trees smell fantastic. It's such a strong, it almost is like, you know, I'll tell you a quick story. So obviously you guys know I went to college here in the city. And when we would travel for away games, so we would, you know, travel up and down the country when we would play other teams. There's this college in particular, I think it was Western Connecticut. No, it was Wesleyan. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of this, but Wesleyan University, I think it's in Connecticut. First of all, when we got there, the campus was so beautiful and the air quality was just so ridiculous from being in the city all the time. And when you go out in nature, you really notice how horrible the air quality is. And that smell reminds me of playing right there at Wesleyan University. Andy S. Wish. Hey, Stella is here. Good to see you, Stella. Thanks for being here. All right, let's continue to push on here. I really want to try to get up to 72nd Street and Central Park West to see the Dakota building tonight. But if you keep walking down here, this is actually Times Square. And pretty soon, believe it or not, the year is almost over. They're gonna be dropping the ball right there. Can't even believe it, but it's coming sooner than you think. Almost, what, a month in a week? And it's gonna be the new year. Jenny says, did you go to NYU? No, I didn't. I went to a very local CUNY school in the City University in New York. A lot of New York State residents go there because it's very cheap. John Jay College of Criminal Justice. It's near Columbus Circle, like 59th Street. I think I've taken you guys there once, or maybe twice, once or twice. Oh yeah, Zavis is Tom. Can you feel the air quality difference between New York City and Miami? Oh yeah, dude. Like, it's like night and day. And I never noticed it before. So, all right, I'll tell you another quick story. A lot of stories out of me today, but it's the holiday. We don't have a topic. We can sort of hang out. Beautiful view of the Empire here. So my brother, obviously, you know, when he graduated college, he got a job in Boston. So he left New York. And when my brother would come and visit, right, on the holidays and things like that, he would always say, he's like, dude, he's like, how do you stand it still living here? It smells so bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It doesn't smell at all. He's like, no, it smells bad. He's like, you're just used to it. And I was like, you're crazy. So anyway, long story short, when I got my place in Miami, right, and I started to live there for, 2-3 weeks at a time, I actually started to notice when I would come back to the city in certain spots, right, not all over, right, but near 34th Street, near 42nd, in certain spots, you actually notice how horrible it smells. It is the weirdest thing. And it's because I became accustomed to it. So once I've left the city for, I would say, more than a month at a time, you really start to notice the difference in air quality. Now, again, I'm not saying in all spots of the city, but, the main ones that I spend the most time, right? Like 34th Street, Penn Station, especially between 34th and 38th Street, in between 7th and 8th, it smells bad. And I never noticed it before until I moved to Miami, Florida. It was the strangest thing. Hey, Natalie, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. Beautiful night, by the way. Thank God it is not cold. It's actually kind of warm. It's like the perfect Thanksgiving I can remember in many years. Hey, Hawaii is here. It says, thank you, working from home, watching your channel for good conversation and good views. Thank you so much. Hey, Juan is here. It says, happy day for all the fellas from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Good to see all of our viewers from Argentina. Hopefully Messi can pull it through in the next game. Hey, Ali Star is here. Says, hey Tom, I used to come into the city from New Jersey, and stepping out of Penn Station, the smell just hit me. But it was iconically a Manhattan smell. Yeah, it's weird that how much you can get used to, right? Now, I don't want to make this seem like the smell is unbearable, right? Because it's not. That would be, really milking it. But you notice it just is not a pleasant smell in some specific locations. It's not like a big widespread thing. Hey, we have our viewers from India. This is happy Thanksgiving. You guys and Tom, love from India. Welcome. What time is it in India right now? Lupe says, Tom, have you been enjoying the World Cup? I have. It's been a pretty good World Cup, but the only thing I've noticed is a lot of the games, it feels like, I mean, maybe it's just me, but it feels like there's no fans at the games. Now, I think the most exciting World Cup from a perspective of the people, just like the energy, was undoubtedly the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Would you guys agree? That World Cup was unbelievable. It seemed like every game, no matter who was playing, the stadiums were packed. Now, yeah, the Brazil game was packed. Some of the others, but the opener, Qatar and, who was it, Ecuador? Was that the opening game, right? It didn't seem like there was many people in the stands. Have you guys noticed that too, or is that me? Ignacio, I miss those, man. Ignacio's like, I don't miss the vuvuzelas. I miss them, dude. Those are amazing. It just made the World Cup feel like a World Cup, you know? Lisa's here, says happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, Lisa. Thanks for joining. Natalia says Canada celebrates well. Yeah, the Canadians should have won that game, by the way. Now, it's very tough to come back from, especially in a World Cup, if you're awarded a penalty kick and you miss that, it's really, really demoralizing for the team who misses it, but it's like super empowering and euphoric for the team who saves the PK. It's hard to come back from that. But Canada's got a good team. They seem pretty sharp. Now, the thing about the US team is we're really, really young this year. I think this is the second youngest US men's national team in history. Seven is like, Tom, the attendance is down because there's no beer. Yeah, I heard about that. We were talking about that. Now, there's probably no beer in the stadiums because, right, Qatar is a predominantly Muslim country, and from the rules of the religion in Islam, right, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. So that I do understand. So I could see how that maybe could impact that. I understand it though, right? It's a different culture. Hey, Dre, Hawaii. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. You are very kind in supporting our work here. This is happy Thanksgiving, and thanks for the company while I work from home. I love New York City. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying the streams. And most of all, thank you for the donation. It helps us keep producing more of this content. Okay, so people... Yeah, I don't know the exact rules, but... This is always one of my favorite shots here. Hey, Melissa 2087, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for joining. Melissa says it's 39 degrees. It feels like 50. It feels like a really, really nice night out. Wow, Sal says used to work at 1251 Avenue of the Americas. We probably saw each other on lunch break because I used to work at 1166. So we were neighbors. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I worked in this building. So this building is my old building right here, the Marsh McLennan. So I was not too far away from you, a couple blocks away. Hey, Blue, thank you so much for the 1,000, I think that's Korean won, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you to all of our Korean viewers. I think that's Korean currency, right? Yeah. thank you so much for the support, and good game as well. I was watching the South Korean national team. Very exciting game. All right, I think we'll have just enough time to see Radio City, to see the skating rink. I want to see the ice skating rink on Thanksgiving to see what it looks like. And then I think we're just going to make it to Central Park South. But if you guys have enjoyed the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Usually we do these live streams Monday through Friday where we talk about the financial markets. On major holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, we sort of just take the day off to walk around, have a good time, talks amongst each other. And then on Saturdays, we take off as well. And Sundays is when we do our Markets A Look Ahead stream, where we cover all the major events on Wall Street as it relates to corporate earnings, talk about the Federal Reserve, if there's an FOMC meeting coming up, all that good stuff. So if you want to be a part of it, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Yeah, Mr. Silva says, where's your skateboard? Do you skate often? I don't skate as much as I want to anymore. Well, when we started the stream, we used to do it on a skateboard. And the reason why is because the streets used to look like this, completely empty every day, right? But that was because we were in a pandemic and nobody was in New York City. But now things have rebounded rather nicely and the drivers are horrible. So we're now back to normal. And the stream, thankfully, grew beyond my expectations. Usually, and it's wild, mind-blowing, and I'm very thankful for this, right? Since it's Thanksgiving, I'm very thankful for this stream and this community that we built in particular. We sometimes have 800 people, 900 people continuously watching, which I am very grateful for, right? So I think if I were to skateboard and try to read the comments and do the lesson plan, I think it would just be dangerous. So I'm gonna try to incorporate it as much as I can, but just between all of the traffic and the amount of chats we get, it's just going to be a little bit difficult. But I don't think we've seen these before. Patrick NY, I appreciate you too. Thanks for being a great moderator. This penguin has a bottle of champagne strapped to its back. SME Media, I will let you know. I will let you know 100% what happened after the car chase. I know, NMB 045. You know what I may do, everybody? I may do that. So I may shoot some standalone skateboarding videos and put them into a 24/7 montage stream so people could just watch it and study, things like that. But I just think it's not, I just don't think it would work for me to do it live. I think it'd be a little bit too dangerous. So here's the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, finally, without all the scaffolding on it. Now, I think the tree lighting is when? The 30th? So in a couple days here. Joe Hernandez, my friend, good to see you. Joe's been here since we had like 15 people subscribed to the channel. Good to see you, Joe, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Can you do a kickflip like the Nightbot? I can, but I think I'm getting a little bit too old for the tricks. I've had my fair share of spills in the city, let's just say that. I've had my big fair share of accidents. No broken bones though, thank God. Which I'm so surprised. I've never broken a bone ever. Wow, look at this. I think this is a record for most people that we've seen, at least so far this year, right? Skating at the rink. I know Sunshine After Rain, you were. I remember it was Sunshine After Rain, Sunshine New York, and Cherry Groove as well, Cosmo. We would skate around the city for like 2-3 hours and just hang out, us three. It was a good time. Hey, Luke NC says, I'm new to the channel, sending good vibes from Brazil and happy Thanksgiving. Good to see all of our Brazilian viewers. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying. Hey, Roxanne Robles, thank you so much for your $5 donations, as New York is the best. I agree. And happy Thanksgiving, Roxanne. Hopefully you had a good one with your family and friends. Mary Lamb says, can you rent the Penguin to skate with? I think the Penguins are mainly for like little kids that don't know how to skate, or somebody that is not familiar with ice skating. Touring different places. This is Tom just joining in. Happy Thanksgiving, touring different places. Thanks for being here. Hey, Paulie, thank you so much for your donation as well. Says, thank you for the stream. I miss New York City. I used to live in Astoria, Queens back in the day. You know, Astoria is a very, very fun place, especially for nightlife now. Astoria is really, really nice. But thank you for your donation, and thank you for joining the stream. We appreciate it. Hopefully you can come back to New York soon. Mighty Bull says, boom, boom, boom. Mighty Bull's in the room. Good to see you, Mighty Bull. All right, now we'll head up. Maybe we'll cross over to 5th Avenue and see the light display. So I think it's off right now, but if you look all the way ahead of you, you'll see the 5th Avenue, Saks Fifth Avenue, I should say, light display, but I think it's off currently. Hey, Edward Adams says, good evening, Tom. Just got home. Thanksgiving dinner was fantastic. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. What'd you have? I had a really good dinner. I don't think I've had a real solid dinner like that in a while, in a long, long time. Just because I'm on the go so much, it's good to sit down and eat like a normal person.
There's another one like 2 minutes free.
Oh, I think they may be waiting to watch it. Maybe it's on a timer or something like that. I'll show you what it looks like, but So this is St. Patrick's Cathedral, but I want to point out this building right here. This is the Olympic Tower. Now, the Olympic Tower has some amazing, amazing apartment units in there. My friend, not too long ago, got a place there, and the views are just, I think that building has the best views of Manhattan you could ask for ever. You have a direct view of the Empire State Building. You have a direct view of the Chrysler Building, One World Trade Center, and One Vanderbilt all in one. It's the most amazing thing. And if you guys want to see what I'm talking about, if you go to Zillow or Street Easy or something like that, type in the Olympic Tower. You're going to see it right next to the St. Patrick's Cathedral. And just take a look at some of the listings there, the rentals. And the views are unreal. Just based upon where it's located geographically in the city. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. I'll try to give you a better shot. So I think the first 50 floors are office space. Excuse me, I think the first 25 floors are office space. And then everything else above that is condominiums, apartments. It's an unbelievable view, fantastic building. Mary Lamps' money, what's the amount per month? I think the cheapest rental there right now is a 1-bedroom going for $8,500 a month. And I know that sounds crazy, and it is crazy. Okay, I'm not saying it's not crazy, but just check it out. Maybe somebody in the chat could drop the listing in the link, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I say it's a crazy, crazy view. You know what I may do? Because I actually was in the unit. I took a video of the view. I may post it on my Twitter account right when I conclude the stream. So if you want to see it, just follow @WalksWallStreet on Twitter. But it's an amazing building, really, really cool building. Now, it doesn't have any amenities or anything, but the views are insane. This is the Cartier building here. Hey, Rich Child 9 says, Tom, having such a good time with the live stream, you forgot his 1 hour mark. Oh my God, I did. We're pushing 2 hours. Speaking of that, I gotta put you guys down here by the garbage can for a little bit because I gotta plug in my battery pack. So if you see any rats running around, just try to dip and dodge. All right, how'd you guys make out? Good? You guys made out all right? Hemp Lord says, can't wait for USA England tomorrow. I know, I was thinking about live streaming from a bar, but I can't run the risk of the channel being taken down because FIFA is just so evil. I shouldn't say evil, but they're too anal about the copyright stuff. It's not like I'm gonna stream the game. I just wanted to show people what it looks like to watch a World Cup game in New York. Because it's gonna be packed. There's a ton of English people in New York City. It's gonna be wild. Rich Child 9. It's like, yeah, we need your channel to stay up. All right, so pressing on here, we are walking northbound on 5th Avenue. If you look to your right, you're going to see an interesting looking building. It's called 432 Park Avenue. It is one of the most expensive apartment buildings in the city, and it is a part of the Billionaires Row trend in Manhattan. Now, a lot of things are wrong with that 432 Park Avenue building, a lot of controversy. I think many of the tenants are actually suing the developers because allegedly the building is so tall that on very, very windy days in the city, you can actually hear the building creaking and swaying in the wind, and it's so loud that some of the tenants can't even sleep. And on top of that, when it's very windy, the elevators cannot operate. In some instances, they have to pause the elevators because the building is actually bending. There was an interesting New York Post article about it, if you guys want to check it out. But now this is St. Thomas Church, one of my favorite churches here in the city. Hey, Cosmo Scary is here. What's up? Cosmo, we were just talking about you, dude. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you and your family had a fantastic one. And thank you for being a great moderator on this channel. I appreciate it very much. Victor, I know, we were talking about that too. The goal in the Brazil game, it was insane. Bicycle kick. Blue says, is it a Catholic church? I do not think it's a Catholic church. Now, a couple blocks up is St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is a Catholic church, but not that particular church. Hey, Paulette says, happy Thanksgiving, Tom. Thank you for joining, Paulette. I appreciate it. What's next is like, what's the difference between the crowds of tonight and last night? Well, I think it just depends on where you are in the city. But it was a busy, busy day in the city today. Very busy. U.S. soccer talks, says Tom. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. we beat England. I'm praying, man, hoping and praying. And it comes in at a good time too, because even though the market is going to be open, we close at 1. The bond market closes at 2. So we have a early day. I have a half day tomorrow. So I'm ready. I'm geared up. I'm ready to watch USA beat England, hopefully. Now, England's got a good team. England's got a good team, and England is coming off of a very, very euphoric win from Iran. And that in and of itself, coming off a total, I would say, almost like a euphoric victory, really, really propels you and gives you some good energy for the next match. This is the Peninsula Hotel, very nice one. It's across the street from the St. Regis, which is also another 5-star hotel here in the city. Caleb is like, nope, England's gonna destroy USA. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not. So this building here is the Trump Tower. Now, last time I was in New York, right? So not before I went back to Miami. I actually had a very small meeting in Trump Tower in the business center. And I've never been there before. And I was very, very excited to go. And my God. Supposedly, they were giving us a tour of the business center. One of my clients has a unit there, and he didn't want to meet at my WeWork office for some reason. And if you see where all the lights are on here, this is their business center. And the thing is just unreal. That's really the only way I could describe it. Now, supposedly they redid the entire business center during COVID, or during the virus, right? When there was no people. But I guess the tenants in the building, because I think it's also a mixed-use building. I believe you're allowed to rent or purchase. Speaking of the World Cup, I think Cristiano Ronaldo used to have an apartment here. I think he may have sold it just recently. But there's also office buildings there. So anyway, the business center is so unreal, where it's just insane. It was a good experience, cool experience. But you want to know something funny? I think I may have told you guys this, actually. I'll tell it anyway. You want to know something hilarious? And I couldn't stop laughing to myself when I was in there. So I was in the business center here, and there's literally TVs everywhere you look, right? There's massive, huge Samsung, like state-of-the-art TVs everywhere. And do you know what the one channel that was on all the TVs? Does anybody want to take a guess at the channel that was on all of the TVs there? Just take a guess. Wow, this looks good too, all the candy canes hanging off this building. Oh, eyes is Fox News? No, it wasn't Fox News. It was CNN. You're right. Rich Child 9. It was CNN. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how ironic is that? In Trump Tower, where I think Trump still has a place there, right? I think he still may live there. But I couldn't believe it. In his business center, it wasn't Fox News. It wasn't all this, the other one, whatever is the other one, ONN. It was CNN on every single TV. It was the most hilarious thing. I was laughing to myself. Anyway, I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I'm like, this is the Trump Tower and the International Business Center, which was absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Unbelievable. They have staff there giving you waters. I was so impressed. And every TV had CNN. I was like, is this a troll? If it is a troll, it was a great troll. Great troll if it was a troll. But yeah, I just thought I was laughing. I think I may have told you guys that, right? Ed T is like, nobody watches CNN though. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of mainstream media. I'm not a big fan of Fox News or CNN. I like the internet age, right? I get a lot of like the independent media outlets. I don't know, I just thought it was hilarious that in the Trump Tower's business center, the executive business center, all of the TVs, I mean everywhere, it was just CNN. All right, well, we finally made it here. This was a really fun stream. I had a good Thanksgiving. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight, walking around, hanging out, having a good time. And I also want to thank everybody who is a part of the stream, all of our moderators specifically. I think we built something really, really cool, really, really special here. We have a great group of very, very smart and curious individuals. And we come together almost every day to talk the financial markets. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. Now, I always say if somebody is going to take time out of their day and consume my content, I really want to deliver a positive ROI experience. So that's what I try to do. So hopefully, as you've been watching these streams, particularly Monday through Friday, when we do our specific topics about the financial markets, hopefully you guys have taken some value away from that. I know I've experienced tons of value from you guys. So once again, I want to say thank you. So this Thanksgiving, very thankful for everybody here, all of our moderators. Let's continue to keep it positive, keep it cool on the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Rodrigo, thank you for the 5 Brazilian reals. This is good vibes from Brazil. Thank you for taking us on a daily ride in New York City. I miss this great city and be safe. Thank you so much. So guys, that is all the time we have for today. We are going to conclude it here at Central Park South. Please enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving with your friends and family. And we will regroup here tomorrow, Friday. Short trading day. Market closes at 1. So 3T3, thank you so much, Dr. Longes. Brad's Brain, I appreciate it. Loose72, thanks so much. Sherry Rodrigo, Lisa Smee Media, Patrick New York, Natalie, thank you. Christy Wayborn, Abdullah, Marcy M, Kathy Lyons, Cosmo Scary, Sunshine After Rain, all of our great moderators touring different places. Love is kind, and everybody, to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. And I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow.